Yo, One Piece chapter 1118 just dropped and it has stirred up some controversy. But before we get into the controversial subject, there's a couple more things about this chapter I want to talk to you about. Starting with the Iron Giant, because at the beginning of this chapter, the Iron Giant is falling into the ocean. And as he's falling into the ocean, he has this little inner monologue that's very interesting to me because the timing of the events of last chapter and the way that it's made to seem in this chapter make it seem like Luffy not being in Gear 5 is the only reason the Giant didn't fight back when the Gorosei attacked him. This Giant needs to feel Joy Boy's presence to do anything, which I guess was already implied earlier, but I don't know, they made it seem like Vegapunk had a way to control it, but I guess not. I guess it still needs to hear the Gear 5 drum beat to get going, because as it's falling into the sea, it's talking about Joy Boy and how it wants to see Joy Boy again, which makes it feel kind of like a Zunisha and Momo thing, like how Zunisha needs Momo to tell him something to get moving. It might be a similar thing with the Iron Giant, which is why I'm still hopeful that we'll get more of Vegapunk's message later on, because with the things that happen at the end of this chapter, it's possible that the Iron Giant may be even stronger and even more efficient than before. And if Vegapunk's message is tied to that power source, it wouldn't surprise me if his message came back too. I honestly hope so, because I really want to hear what he had to say about the D-Clan, and I feel like we need one more thing for me to really be satisfied with this message. Just one more little piece of information. But obviously everyone's reacting to Vegapunk's message suddenly ending, and the most random thing, we see Mr. Nine and Miss Monday with their baby, which is cute, I guess. But at the same time, Luffy makes his way onto the giant ship, and the Vice Admirals get no diff by Bonnie, which good shit, Vice Admirals, never change. But this moment as they get onto the giant ship was so heartwarming to me. Luffy being beat up, saying hi to all the old giants we know, as well as all the new friends we made this arc, and then getting the crew banter with Sanji and Frankie and Usopp, it all just felt very nostalgic, very OG One Piece. But obviously that doesn't last long, because St. Marcus Mars showed up, and this is when the controversial part of the chapter happens, because Bonnie basically goes Gear 5. And after reading the chapter and just opening up Twitter for a minute, I've seen a lot of people upset about this. I've seen people saying it's worse than Kinemon being alive. I've seen people saying this ruins the art. I've even seen people saying it's woke, which, shut up, nigga. But honestly, I really like it. And at first, I was only neutral about it, but as I've let it sit with me more, I've started to like it more and more and more. Mainly as it pertains to Bonnie's character. Because throughout this arc, we've had this constant desire from Bonnie to be like Nika. And from the lessons that she learned from Kuma, Nika being her vision of pure freedom. And just seeing the smile on her face as she's in Nika form, it's like seeing a little kid get to realize their dream, you know? Just all the things that Nika means to Kuma and Bonnie, and the way that Bonnie's powers have been built up over the duration of this arc, it all feels like it culminated into this one moment. And personally, I really appreciate it. Especially with the way that Saint Saturn described her power. Like, the more open and free her future becomes, the more future she is able to tap into. But I also just like this for the pure fact of, I like the idea of Luffy having a protege. I was always a huge proponent of Momo not even becoming Shogun and just coming with us, simply because I like this idea of having the next generation of pirates looking up to Luffy. And I would like the idea of Bonnie growing up to try to be like Luffy, but obviously now she's not even gonna be close. Like, I've seen a lot of people complaining like, oh, this is gonna make Bonnie completely broken. I don't really think so. One, I don't think she's gonna be able to keep the form for that long, and two, I don't think this is something that she's gonna be able to do with any devil fruit. I think this is a very particular thing between her and the idea of Sun God Nika, and only because Sun God Nika is that important in her life and has become that symbol of freedom for her, has she been able to do the things that she's been able to do this arc. I don't think she's gonna be able to walk up to Kid and say, give me a Jika-ish future, and just have his devil fruit. I don't think it works like that. I think she has to really be able to envision a path in her life to that. And honestly, I'm kind of excited to see how they're gonna fight together. Having two Nikas running around, I think we're gonna see some fun shit. I honestly don't really see any reason to dislike this. Maybe knee-jerk gut reaction, but after you think about it for a little bit, it just works. It works on like every level. But yeah, man, that's all I got for y'all boys today. Let me know what you think about the chapter in the comments below. Maybe you can help me understand the criticisms a little better. Like the video if you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, man, I'm gone.